Hello summoners, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about why people are losing interest in Marvel Contest of Champions. A little bit serious video, not something that we usually do on this channel, but I recently did a poll and almost 4,000 of you voted, a lot of comments as well. So we are going to discuss these 3 points, propose some solutions. We also have 2 additional points from like the comment section and stuff. So the first one is going to be about new champions, and I think this one has the easiest solution, and it might get solved with the wish crystal in the future, I don't know. But the thing is, a few years ago when new characters came out, I was extremely excited. I used to watch those videos. I used to think that does this character fill the gap in my roster. Like, let's say a person is just starting the game, they get some characters, they are in, like, let's say Act 4 for example, and they don't have a good power control character, and that's what they need to get to that next level, to get uncollected, let's say. And you get some decent characters out of crystals, but you're not getting that power control character, and someone like Magic comes in, like, as a new character, let's say. And yeah, like, if Magic was released in 2021 right now, I would say a lot of people will say, yeah, she's a character, she's cool if you want a power control champion, but you already have Doom and she doesn't hit that hard. She could be okay defender, but probably not the best. And like, a lot of people would not be interested in getting Magic right now if she was released as a new character. A lot of people would say that she needs a little bit more damage and stuff, but for that player, he doesn't care about the damage. He needs power control, and Magic has power control, and that's all he cares about. He can target that character, something like that. And that's kind of the problem. I think the basic pool is huge right now. We have more than 200 characters, and when they removed featured crystal, it was fine, because they said, is because, if I remember correctly, they said that they are doing this and they will be, as a result, increasing the shards we get, and they don't want like people to be able to extremely, like, target one particular character. And it was fine back then, because again, the pool was not this big. But right now it's just huge, and you could really get unlucky, and you could not be pulling the characters that you want. You could be missing a big utility, like, again, power control or defensive ability reduction, and could be the reason you're not progressing to that next level. And that would be extremely, like, frustrating, I imagine. Like, there was a time when if you don't have a 5-star Star-Lord, you could either like, the basic pool was extremely tiny at that time, so a lot of people had 5-star Star-Lord. But if you don't, you can go with a 4-star one in Labyrinth, or you could go with a 5-star Rocket or something. But usually people waited for 5-star Star-Lord, and that was fine, because they were, like, I don't exactly remember, but 30, let's say 30 characters in the pool. So the chances of getting a Star-Lord and then duping him, not extremely low if you play for years. But if you have, like, 200 plus characters, they're just so low at that point. Like, again, I don't have a 4-star Thor Ragnarok. That should probably tell you that certain characters can evade you for sure. And yeah, the next thing is that as a result, when new characters now come out, it could be a character that I like in the MCU or something like that, but it's just, I just see the animations, I see, like, the damage, but I don't really care, because I'm not going to have that character for years, and I won't be able to get a chance at that character for months. So that's the thing. Like, as a result, every month, yeah, we are getting 2 new characters, and that's great. Like, I think Marvel Contest of Champions, the developers, they put in the time, they put in the effort. They are putting in 2 new characters with amazing animations, some new abilities as well. We have buffs every single month, and it's pretty crazy how much they work, and how much they manage to get done in just 1 month. But the thing is, I don't really care about new champions, because I can't get them easily. And yeah, arena is a way, but you just have to spend a ridiculous amount of time in arena as well. So yeah, not something like, I think the wish crystal, and that's the thing, I think they are just trying to give options to target specific characters. I don't understand why they just don't bring back the old system, because they are doing that pretty much with the Nexus Crystal and stuff, that you are able to get more choice, be able to just have a better chance of getting the character that you want. And I assume the Wish Crystal will be the same thing, but just getting the old feature back would be pretty huge, I imagine. And the next thing is repetitive content. It's pretty self-explanatory, to be honest. It's repetitive and people get bored after some time. It's an old game as it is. It's like 6-7 years at this point, and a game this old, you still have Lance Quest or Lance War. They were fine game modes, but we have been playing them for years at this point. And if you are a newer player, if you are moving maps in a Lance Quest, like map 4 to map 5 to map 6, that could be the exciting part. But at one point, just the concept of Lance Quest, just having to log in 3-4 times a day, I'd say even the times are changing, especially in gaming. We are getting so many mobile games used to be pretty bad, to be honest, but now there are so many good mobile games that Mcoc, just the time that it demands, sometimes people just don't have that kind of time, or they want to spend that time in other games with playing with friends or something. So like Alliance Quest, Alliance War, Event Quest, especially side event quest, like I am not liking the side event quests at all. They are just too complicated to understand, and they are time consuming as well. I don't know, like overall the time that's actually another point. That was a fourth point. Let's talk about this here. Stuff like Alliance Quest, Alliance War, kind of non-optional at this point. Like you can technically go alliance-less, but the rewards wise, like how would you get catalyst, how will you get shards if you're not doing AQ and AW? The solo, there is no solo option. We have incursions, which takes a ridiculous amount of time, and the rewards, the goal is nice, but except the goal, the rewards are not there. And I really don't think incursions, that's the bad thing, that they're fun. They're probably the most fun game mode in the game, but because of how much time it takes, it's just hard. Like you usually don't get a partner that to play at the same time as you, and then you are left to play with randoms, and randoms are terrible, and it's just a bad experience overall. And event quests, they're not bad, especially like Cavalier difficulty after the reward buff. It's not bad, it's actually kind of decent. Like if you have limited time, I'd say go for event quests and get the highest difficulty that you can do. Side event quests also, like for time to reward ratio, pretty good, but some side event quests, they can vary a lot, but generally speaking the rewards are not the problem. It's the complexity. When I log into the game, right, I immediately go to AQ, and then I do AW if it's on, and then I have energy. I want to spend that energy before I log out of the game, and to do that I jump into stuff like side event quest and event quest. But if it is something that is so complicated that I first have to watch a YouTube video to understand how it works, or read a forum post or something to understand how it works, then it's just like by that time you don't really, I don't know, it's kind of weird to explain, but it's just very boring at this point, especially the event quests of same thing over and over again. And what they need is a new game mode, and it is what we are getting. This the PvP thing we have seen recently in the Summoner Showdown as well. It's going to be exciting. I hope that they can deliver, and it's going to be a great time, especially for me as a content creator. It's going to be so good to be able to stream something and be able to collaborate with other creators in a meaningful way. Like right now, how can two Mcoc YouTubers collab? Like you can work on maybe a tier list or something together, or I don't know, like you can't really do that much. But if you can go up against each other, that would be that would be pretty entertaining, I imagine. And like, we have incursion tournaments as well, but they're not that exciting. 1v1, it probably wouldn't even take that much time. Like, it's best of 3 and all, but probably like 15 minutes, 16 minutes. I don't know why I said 15, 16 like that. 15, 20 minutes, something like that probably. And yeah, you would have a winner. You would be able to end that stream. It would be an entertaining 20-minute content. And if you are just a player, you will be able to, like, hopefully the rewards are also right, because it needs to be something that people can do without an alliance because of the state of AQ and AW. And alliance wise, say, even though we face different alliances, and if you are in like master and stuff, then you probably just face that 20-30 alliances every single time. But let's not even count that. The placements are like, especially before, when we had a lot of those global nodes like Stubborn, all the time. When Stubborn was on, the boss was Thing, and like Apocalypse at the end, I think. When it was Flow, it was always Mojo, and every single war. And path 5, it was Nova on Ebb and Flow Intercept every single time. And in section 1, when it was Ebb and Flow Knockdown, Hit Monkey, Darkhawk, again every single time. The paths themselves, like if you are taking one particular path, they are going to be repetitive, because the good and the weird thing is, the good placements become the bad placement because people are so used to it that they are just comfortable with that fight. And yeah, they probably won't die right now. Like yesterday's war, a battle group died 3 times, and at that point, because all other alliances also not dying that much, like in alliance war, there is no good answer. If they make it too tough, a lot of people die, people complain because you are using a lot of items, and yeah, you're dying that much, and nobody likes to die in any game. But if the if there is a low, and if you die, you just feel extremely bad. 1-2 deaths and the game could go to the other side, and it's not a good feeling if your alliance loses because of you. And the amount of pressure that you have, like if you are going for the boss and you know that if you die you lose, if you win you win, like everything depending on that one fight, it's just a lot of pressure. And those times when you win, you feel extremely good. When you're pressured and you come out on top, it's a great feeling. But if you lose, that's an uninstall moment. Like people will uninstall it right then and there. Then let's move on to bugs. Not that much to talk about bugs. They suck. Nobody likes bugs, not the players, not Kabam. And they're always going to be bugs in every single game, and that like has these patches and stuff. They are going to be bugs, but these the parry bugs and stuff, they haven't been affecting me that much, I'm gonna be honest. But a lot of people, just for them, the game has become unplayable because of the bugs. And yeah, that's not a good thing. A lot of people are quitting because of that. And again, I think some extra compensations would have been nice. I never say no to free stuff, but right now, like people, they're just not having fun in the game. Like even before the bugs, and then the bugs come in, and yeah, again, that just makes people move on to other games and stuff. Then there are 2 points here. Other games, I will say that MCOC, when it was released versus where it is now, the competition has definitely increased. The kind of games that are now available on mobile are much better, but than they used to be. But MCOC doesn't really have a direct competitor. Like, you know, PUBG, you could say that Call of Duty Mobile was a competitor, something like that. Like both are first person shooter games, then yeah, they can be competitors. But MCOC, I don't think, like someone on the comments, I don't know where, said Marvel Future Fight. I don't think Future Fight or these other Marvel games are really similar to MCOC in terms of gameplay. Like that's the thing. If MCOC dies, I don't think the player base will shift to one game. They will just all go separate ways, which is a little bit scary as a content creator, because I don't think I will be able to, you know, continue making videos on one game, but that's not the topic of this video. And the other thing is, the main thing in my opinion is the time commitment is getting a little ridiculous at this point. You have Alliance Quest, you have Alliance 4. If you want gold, you better do Arena and what incursions, and if not, then you either are always going to be broke, or you have to spend money on the game and get those deals, which usually have something else as well, but they also have a decent chunk of gold. And like the same thing goes for ISO. Like the resources, if you are free to play, then they could be hard to get. Stuff like units, you get them from Arena. You have to spend a lot of time grinding, which is again the thing that a lot of people say you have to you can either be free to play, or you can spend money. You can either be free to play and grind a lot and spend time, or you can just spend money. And the thing is, most people don't want to do either of those things, but they still want to have fun in the game. And it's fine if you're not spending that much time in the game. If you're not spending money, then you should not be at the top of the competitive table, whatever, like Alliance War and stuff like that. You will not have the highest prestige. It's fine if you don't have the highest prestige and you can't get into a top 20 Alliance Quest Alliance, or you are not in a Master Alliance and something. But it's just that if you're not spending time and you're not spending money, you have a character that you want to rank up, but you can't because you don't have ISO or you don't have gold, that sucks. Like it's fine if you punish is a weird word, but you get my point, right? If you want to incentivize the player to spend time, and like if you do that through competitiveness, then it's fine. But if you are not letting people play the game kind of in a way, with the characters that you want, because you are not able to rank up those characters and stuff, you won't get the catalyst as easily. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I think like people have just, in Mcoc community, they have accepted that it's a game that we are going to play daily, and that will take a lot of time, whereas a lot of mobile games have to just put a lot of effort to just bring back players every day. And we have Mcoc where just logging in every day is not enough. You have to spend like if you're free to play and you want to be decent on gold and stuff, you want to have ISO at all times, you're probably spending a lot of time in Arena. And I don't think that's just working anymore. A lot of people, they're just alright, they're done. They don't want to play this game, they will play something else. And that's not something that is going to be good. So I think something like a new game mode, which doesn't take as much time but is pretty rewarding when it comes to the basic stuff like gold, ISO, shards, catalyst, so you can be alliance-less and still get some decent rewards. Obviously, like if you should be rewarded for spending more time, that's not a question, but you should not be punished for spending less time, is what I'm basically trying to say. So the final thing is it's a problem that has always existed in Marvel Contest of Champions, and it has no solution. At least I don't think that there is a solution, and that's the gap between the progression always having something for the end game player, and at the same time like if you keep adding new content for the end game player, it could feel overwhelming for a new player who's already having such a hard time catching up. You spend 2 weeks to finish a quest, and by the time you come out, 2 new quests pop up. It is weird, like the balance to like make a new player become excited about the game, and at the same time keep an older player interested in the game. It's a hard balance. I don't really know how you can do it. Because whenever we talk about the problems of the game, all the end game players, not all, but a lot of the end game players say we don't have enough end game content, whereas I think we've had a lot, because we recently had the if you go a few weeks back, we had like Summer of Pain, we had Karina challenges a few months ago, we had a boss rush recently, which was kind of difficult as well, the Shang-Chi one, and before that we had the maze. Like we also getting the story content. So yeah, I'd say content wise it's good. Also, another thing is the new content being difficult is good thing, but bugs being there at the same time is pretty bad thing. Like the Shang-Chi one, it was bad enough for someone going in there without a Corvus glaive, or a character basically with a cheat death mechanic or something, and if you're going in there with like not an ideal counter, and at that time you also experiencing a lot of bugs, again is a very bad experience and something that you don't want in the game. So that's kind of going to do it for this one. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. We can have a chat there, and yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for this one. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Subscribe to the channel for more content. Like this video, share with the line, stay safe, have a good one, and bye.